All right, welcome to another episode of Tinker and Try, where each week we divide.
What are we dividing?
I'm going to try that again.
All right.
Welcome again to Tinker and Try, where each week we dive into a new topic and explore the exciting world of self-education and personal growth. This week we talk about self-education versus traditional education when it comes to career and life and everything else in between. I am Dylan Bain, and with me, as always, is the Jackson Bond. Jackson, how are you, my friend?
What's up, everybody? I'm good.
So, real quick, I am a little opinionated about this because I dropped out of college twice and now would consider myself to have a pretty successful career so far in software. So, some context for where I'm at. Jackson,
For sure.
what about you?
I dropped out of college once so far. Graduated Votech so far, and then have one bachelor's degree. I'm going for a second currently, but I'm doing this one a bit different. So, yeah, some context.
Context. Hit me up.
Yeah, so graduate high school. Everyone tells you to go to college, but you're in high school. So I went to music school, music production specifically, thinking, I really don't know. I never truly thought I would have a job in music production. I think maybe I thought our band would take off and I could use those skills to kind of self-produce the band.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I dropped out of that after
do you think
2 years.
Do you think it was really the only thing you were really actually interested in at the time, and that's why you did it?
At the time, yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I loved whenever you were in school, man. We got to go to the studio. It was awesome. And you would like come teach me all the stuff you're learning.
Yeah.
Like, about phasing and dithering and
Dithering.
How to correctly wind up your audio cables.
Dude, that's my biggest takeaway. I think about that professor every time I'm wrapping up a cable. So that was good. I will say, as far as like all my education goes, that was like probably the least likely to lead to a career, but that's probably the most I learned at a school.
That's how it works, man.
Yeah. Like the most hands-on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. Because the classroom, we're just in a recording studio. So literally you're just doing it. It's very specific, but yeah, I learned a lot.
Honestly, I think if you would have been more driven to make that career, you could have. By now, that could be your career.
For sure. But I don't think I would have had to go wanted
through
to do that.
Right. Yeah. Because the people that you probably went to school with, I would say probably like 70% of them that actually finished the degree are working in music now.
Yeah. Probably a decent amount of them. I know a lot of people there were musicians. Yeah. Just kind of doing something to apply to their bands, their projects.
Yeah.
That's fair. But yeah, I guess that's just, I don't know, because I always like kind of pictured music working out, but then at the same time, not really expecting it to. I guess I was setting myself up for failure there.
I know what you're talking about, because I was definitely like, yeah, this is gonna work, but in the back of my mind, I knew it wasn't gonna work.
Right. So, I think like we could have made it work, like if we, really tried to. Probably would have had to move.
Yeah, and we weren't. It's hard. If I knew what I knew now, and had that, what's the word? Young. Is it zeal? I don't know.
That gusto?
If I knew if I knew what I knew now back then, it could have worked.
For sure.
But now, like looking back, I'm really glad that it didn't work.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure.
Happier now than I think I would have been then. Let's just face it. Most people who make a decent amount of money playing music become alcoholics.
True.
So,
Definitely true. And also, I met my current wife. Just kidding. I met my
current one.
wife pretty early, so I always knew I wanted to get married, which is makes, being in a touring band really hard.
Sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't regret not going that route.
Hmm.
But speaking of that, I drop out of that school. So now I'm working at Sonic full time, which is a pretty sad place to be,
Yeah.
especially when you see people in high school or that you went to high school with taking off. So wanted to get married the next year, so I went to Votech for HVAC, heating and air conditioning,
Mhm. How was that?
which was that was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
No, the weird part is I really did enjoy the school part of it, like learning how the machines worked. It was
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah.
And like fixing them in the air conditioned shop was nice. Now graduating that and getting a job, yeah, being out there crawling under
You're in
houses,
somebody's attic or something in
attic in the middle of the
Oklahoma
summer,
summer. Yeah.
out in a wide open field in the middle of winter, just laying down pipes. Not great.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds miserable.
Yeah. But I mean,
So,
it got us by for a couple of years. I brought in money while Madeline was in school.
mhm.
And once she graduated, she became a teacher. So we had more money than we knew what to do with. So I quit
I
HVAC.
mean, as a 24, 25-year-old, that's true.
Honestly, it was the most we ever had. Yeah. $30,000 a year.
Yeah, I mean, accumulatively, probably we're making like 50 or 60, right? Well,
Well, so
I
I
guess
quit right when
she
she
quit. Yeah,
started.
I guess she
We
quit and
basically
then you
just,
went to school. So you switched salaries. Like, who
yeah,
was making
our,
that money?
our whole life, our whole marriage up until right now, we kind of made the exact same amount of money because we were switching off school and working.
Yeah. And now it's kind of the same thing, except for it's more money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah. And it's at the same time.
Yeah. Cause I'm not, well, that's a spoiler. We're not there yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So then I decided to go back to school to get an office job because when you're
Mhm.
working on like roofs of office buildings and you see people just walking and sitting down, it's the most appealing thing you can imagine.
So that was really the best thing you could have done.
Honestly, there's people at my current job that are very frustrated about stuff and
Yeah.
yeah, seeing like so they're putting up a new building next to the building we're in now
Uh-huh.
and like looking at those construction workers like knowing that
You've
could
been
be what
that
I'm doing
guy.
to this day. I'm like
Yeah.
those small things don't bother me at all. So
Yeah.
it was a good perspective lesson or whatever.
Hmm.
But decided to go back to school, have no idea really what I want to do yet. So, but I was really into like investing, stocks, stuff like that. So I just decided to go for a finance degree.
Yeah.
And yeah, did that, graduated last year with a finance degree and naturally started QA at a software company.
That is quality assurance.
Yeah, testing software.
Yeah.
So that brings us up to present day. I've always been interested in programming. I've tried multiple times to self learn, self teach, and just can't ever like, or I just don't ever stick with it long enough to get a good grasp on it. So I decided I'm gonna go get a CS, a computer science bachelor's, and that's
Yeah.
where we're at today.
That's where we're at today.
So the route I decided to go is a self-paced school that you pay per term. So you pay per 6 months, and it's like $4,000 for 6 months. You can take as many courses as you can within that time period.
So you pay for 6 months, like a license, pretty much, to access to all these courses that are accredited.
Correct.
And so you go in, you choose, you know what classes you need. I'm assuming they have some kind of advisor
Yeah.
for you. Like
You,
you go
you
and
get a
say, I want to,
personal, you have like a program mentor, and then each course has another mentor, teacher. So you're
it's not an instructor because all the curriculum's online, but when you
right.
do need a question answered, that's pretty cool because it's all like asynchronous. Like
Hmm.
that's really nice.
I think so. It's my biggest thing. Like the money's nice. It's way cheaper than going to a normal university,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
also they don't hold you hostage. Like I feel like everyone's that's been through college has been through a course that they pretty much knew everything about the
Yeah.
course, but you're still locked in for the full 5 month semester. So
Do you want to go ahead and share what that is? What this program is called or this
the
school?
college, yeah, it's Western Governors University. They're based out of Utah. It
Okay.
is actually cool. I looked up the history. It's like the Western Governors, which is like 17 states on the western side of the country.
Yeah.
Like they all got together and like developed this university as more job focused college, like affordable
Yeah.
job focused programs.
Career
So
focused.
career focused, yeah.
So it's like the good parts about vocational school put
Hmm.
into like a formal education type of stuff.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. I like it. How did you learn about it? How did you hear about it?
So there's a guy at my work that's going through it now.
Okay.
So I, based off his recommendation, started looking into it, and there's people all over YouTube with
Talking about it.
plans.
Yeah.
So one of the coolest things is they accept transfers from most accredited places, in
Yeah.
which these days that means there's places like study.com or like Sophia Learning that are, I don't know if you can't really call them schools, but they're like online accredited course
Hmm.
institutions or something. But
Yeah.
so you can take a lot of your courses through these websites and then transfer them into WGU.
Nice.
So based off my bachelor's I have now, mixed with like these other like the pre studying I'm doing, I'm going to be able to transfer in about 75% of this CS degree.
Sweet. So you get to focus on just the like programming and computer based classes. So you get to take a couple programming classes, probably some like networking classes. You'll probably so that's pretty cool. So how many classes are you taking right now?
So I'm doing one at a time. So I
One at a
just
time.
started my
Oh, that's good though, because then you
yeah,
could just spend, a month or whatever focusing only on that one class.
exactly.
That's
You
nice.
yeah, you just learn it. To move on, you just pass a test. Well, that's for most of them. For more of the programming ones, it's project based, so you'll end up building something and getting that approved. But
Oh, that's so good. I would
yeah,
say, spoiler alert, I'm not super hyped about, going back to school or whatever, and I never will. Or I won't go to a real traditional school. But
mhm.
if I was to do it, this is definitely the way to do it. Like this is really nice.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I've been recommending it to people.
Hmm.
Now I am worried about the math portion of a computer science degree. It's some fairly high level math that I haven't used in a long time. So,
Yeah. Are you doing any algebra?
so it starts at Calc 1. It's like the lowest.
Okay.
It's calculus and then
Yeah.
discrete mathematics,
Hmm.
which I don't know. It's kind of cool because you can see that being applied kind of to algorithms.
Yeah, depending on what you do,
Yeah.
it could be used. Like a lot of my coworkers remember like certain formulas and remember algorithm like because there are like a bunch of algorithms out there. It's like this is
Hmm.
what you use to solve this problem. And under the hood, like of most programming languages, those are at play.
Right.
So
Have you ever reversed a linked list?
uh no, never needed to.
Yeah. I don't actually know what that means. I just know it's a common like interview question for developers
I mean,
or
I've
exercise.
I probably have, but didn't pay attention to it or think about it as reversing a linked list. I mean,
Yeah.
I've reversed an array like the without the JavaScript
Hmm.
helper functions. Like I know the
What's the
algorithm to
what's the
do it.
difference between a linked list and an array?
I don't remember. Oh, we should do a like a programming interview episode someday.
Yeah, I'm down. Are you gonna interview me?
No,
Just
you're gonna
kidding.
interview me,
I
and
know.
I'll show how much of an idiot I am.
You'll show what you really need to know to get a job.
Yeah, which is like absolutely nothing.
So my plan is to have this done in 14 months.
Okay.
So 6 months of
So
that will be, I'll do one term at the school is my goal. Do the rest of it before I transfer in to the school.
so it's gonna be $18,000.
No, it's going to be about 5,500 because I'll only be paying one term at the school, which is the 4,000. Everything else I'm doing is
Oh,
much cheaper before that, which is why I'm going this route. So like these study.com and Sophia Learning, it's like $100 to $200 a month for college credit.
okay.
Yeah, I left that out.
Okay.
That's
I
the
see what you're
biggest
doing. So
reason why I'm
you're
pre-gaming
buying individual courses and transferring those into this
the university.
WGU.
Yeah.
So you don't take any, what courses do you actually take through WGU?
So those will be like the higher level
Like the
courses.
actual,
So that's going to be like software 1 and 2, which is Java, where you're actually building the stuff,
mhm.
the
but
data
the your
structures and algorithms.
but your basic needed, like say, okay, you need 2 math credits. You go get
Right.
those at Southern New Hampshire University or whatever.
Yeah. Or
Or
like,
whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
intro to IT. That's what I'm in right now. And it's
Mhm.
literally like, what does a mouse do? What's a motherboard? Like just very basic computer stuff. So I'm glad I'm
Mhm.
able to knock these out, before I'm spending serious
Yeah.
money on it. So
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I like
yeah.
it.
So I could see this becoming the way college works in the future because
Yeah.
people that are driven to get done, they don't need to take 4 years for a bachelor's degree.
Yeah. Well,
But
so
now
can you,
you,
well, I
oh,
was going to ask, can you test out of classes? Like, can you just like, if you were starting from scratch, can you
mhm.
test out of the math classes and the English classes? Like, you can collect out in college, like traditional college. Is this an option? Can you just take a test and not have to take the class?
So at WGU, yes, unless it's the project based ones.
Right.
That's the only graded work you submit is the final exam.
Yeah.
So you can, start the class, take the test that day and pass it and be done with the class in one day.
But
So
you
you're
have to
not
pay for
testing
it.
out of it, but you're just
Gotcha. So it's
because
like you might as well, you're paying for it. You might as well take all the courses and prepare for the test that way.
yeah, I mean it depends because you have that 6 month term. So if you're trying to get it all done in 6 months,
Oh, okay.
so like
So you
that's
want
another
to,
thing. I'm gonna take a month off between the pre-study and starting at WGU to
so that you're not
study
wasting.
ahead.
Yeah.
So like
Okay.
I'll have a foundational understanding before I actually start the term.
Okay. Cool. I'm into it.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I like it so far. It's been 2 days, so going good.
Yeah, you're on that high.
Yeah. It is nice. I have like a graph. I have an Excel sheet,
Hmm.
and every time I finish a course, a little needle moves up, and I'm addicted to that
That's
already. So
yeah,
it's good stuff.
that's a really good thing to have.
Yeah.
Wow, so you're doing it even by like session.
So
So,
I actually finished a course last night already. One of the
oh, wow.
because it's self paced. It was project management, which is
Yeah.
basically just terms. So I just memorize all these terms, go take the test, and I passed.
Okay.
So I got that credit knocked out.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I love
Gosh,
it.
so people would have wasted someone would have wasted so much time of their life
five
doing some
months.
dumb group project,
Yep.
getting mad. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it is like,
You already got a credit. That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, no, it's good stuff. You do. It's up to you how much you learn,
Yeah.
but there's an argument there that you're not learning as much if you were in the lectures for a full semester. But there's another argument saying to be a software developer, I'm not going to need to be an expert at project management. You know?
True, but see, my thing is I want to just go pick classes to take,
Yeah.
you know?
So do you think like you have a pool of classes. Say you have like 50 classes and you just say you need 15 of these to graduate. Let the people pick what they would want.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm a big fan of the route of like more of like a quote unquote boot camp. Like you just go and learn a skill for
Mhm.
6 weeks, and then, and I don't know. I guess it makes sense to the degree thing kind of makes sense for some people. Like a lot of stuff couldn't have been learned without, or couldn't have been done without people taking, probably 70% of these classes in a computer science degree.
Mhm.
But the thing that bothers me is like the required, uh like if you're going for a CS degree, do you have to take, you probably have to take English classes, right?
Yeah, the gen eds. Yeah.
Yeah, the general stuff, like you have to have one like a social study type class. You have to have a history class. You have to have like technically like I don't know what they call them, electives. Like you have to have so many hours, but there's only probably 17 hours of actual core classes in the
Mhm.
whole 4 years that you're going to go. So like there's a semester's worth of work that you actually have to get done, but you have to go for 16 semesters or whatever,
Right.
8 semesters.
Do you think there's an argument there that that does produce a more well-rounded person? Like you know a little because I could see like
Maybe,
English kind of helps you with your like written skills, written
sure.
communication.
I think maybe there should be 2 tiers. There should be maybe degrees, and like we already have that. I guess we have degrees and certifications. You can go get
Yeah,
certified in Google Cloud. You can go get
true.
certified in JavaScript. So
Yeah,
you can do that. And that means my problem isn't so much with the education system because all they're doing is supplying what work, like what jobs wanted.
exactly.
My
Yeah.
problem is what with jobs that it like places that will pay you based on your education, not based on, your actual merit and your like how you actually work and stuff. Like
Yeah, your
that
work
stuff.
ethic.
That's what bothers me. Yeah, your ethic, yeah, and your performance. That's what bothers me.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense because like what you're saying, like tiers of degrees, like we have the associate's degree, which is like the 2-year degree.
But
It's just that
still
employers
requires
don't.
you, it's yeah, an associate's degree is almost useless.
Yeah.
I mean, what I like is you go get you can go be like a registered nurse and you don't have to, pretty sure registered nurses don't have to go take a bunch of English classes and stuff.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like in HVAC, I just spent a year learning
Yeah,
air conditioning,
electronics
got a
and all that
job.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that's valid.
if you're gonna, I don't know, if you're gonna be a doctor, you probably need to know English related to, being a doctor. But you don't need to go learn about literature.
True.
Maybe you have like an ethics class and that's like the closest thing to literature you get. That's just my thought. And
I mean, I
I
think
mean,
everyone.
when you're talking about a medical doctor though, like at that point you're not really saving them much because they're taking so many classes
True.
anyways. But I think like why are we wasting somebody's time who wants to go be a doctor with learning about Shakespeare?
Mhm.
And maybe there is a reason, I don't know. But yeah.
I think not, I don't necessarily agree with this. I think a lot of people kind of see it as like if you stick it out, like that kind of proves that you can.
Yeah, I've heard that argument, but I think my career,
Yeah.
like my experience proves the exact opposite. And my experience, like, and what I've seen proves the opposite, meaning uh, I know plenty of people that have a 4-year degree who are like bad at work,
Yeah, for
like
sure.
lazy and not driven and don't learn that well, but they know how to take a test and they know how to cram information.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, yeah, I don't like that argument either because it's like, well, what does that say about me who taught myself programming?
Which is almost harder to do because you're only accountable to yourself, not
Yeah,
to a
I had
university.
like my first step was learning what I had to learn.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so,
I think it's a lazy way for jobs to write off a bunch of applicants. And that's really all it comes down to at
yeah.
at the bachelor degree level. I could see it higher than that. Like maybe you do get more specialized in masters and PhD that level.
Yeah, like my thing is, yeah, if someone comes in with a master, I don't know, if someone comes in with a master's degree in software engineering, like I will probably be disappointed in them,
By their
honestly. Like,
performance.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think I have not met anybody that had more than a bachelor's that has actually really impressed me. Most people that impress me, like, actually are just have been bachelor's degree people who have been doing it for a long time.
for sure. Do you think at your company or just in
Mhm.
general, I feel like the degree just makes it way easier to get a foot in the door. Not saying you
Not
have
at my
to,
job.
not at all.
No, not at all.
So what do they like look for, like because something has to make you stand out because there's I
Projects.
assume so
And so at my job specifically, um, projects that you're excited about that you can get, are people like the people looking at your application excited about. Like I, if I hear about an applicant, it's because of projects that they've done.
just like personal or like
Yeah.
open
And
source stuff.
yeah. And so whenever I used to lead a team and I was in more interviews, I didn't know what degree any of them had and school never came up. What came up was what projects excite them and like what's something that they're proud of that they've done with, programming.
But
Like
so
one of my favorite interview questions is like, what's the most practical piece of software you've ever made? Like what's
mm,
something that has actually made a difference in somebody's life? And most of them it's like it's not done well, but it was actually like the fact that they had the idea to do it and they did it and solved a real problem
mhm,
is what matters. It doesn't matter what algorithm they used or
for
whatever.
sure.
Like I would take someone that can stitch together 5 open source projects to solve an issue over somebody who can go build like an AI model or something like that. Because most people just need people to come up with solutions.
True. But that's like at the interview level. So like how did these people because you have to get through like that almost first wave of just like automated hiring.
Yeah.
That a
Uh
lot of companies I feel like if you don't have that degree, it makes it a lot harder.
so probably getting to the interview at my job is your resume. So um I'm trying to think because we just went through a hiring frenzy. We
Yeah.
hired a bunch of college and so not only college educated or college grads, but new boot camp graduates as well. I think the big thing was more on the level of like, I guess like cover letter and some resume, and then
Yeah.
like especially if you're a new grad, or and I say new grad meaning you just finished boot camp or you just finished your bachelor's or whatever. The biggest thing is you include projects you did on your resume for us. So like you have no work history, but you have like 5 projects that you've built and you have like a paragraph or two for each one explaining what they did, why you did it, how you built it, and you have code on GitHub, like that's what gets you in the door.
Mm-hmm. So
And
is it like either a degree or a boot camp? Do you ever get people with
no,
neither?
I mean, I'm in neither.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yeah, we have plenty of people who are a neither, but most of the people we get that are neithers at this point are experienced, like they've worked somewhere else. We
Right.
have a I think we probably have a couple people who this is like their first gig, and then like they got it because they had a good resume that had a lot of cool projects on it.
Yeah.
And so if we see a resume that has cool projects on it, we're gonna call you, and whenever that first call comes, that's a personality thing. Are you a jerk? Are you humble? Uh like all that kind of stuff. And we're also saying, okay, does this person actually know, like, can we actually have a conversation about tech?
Right.
And would they fit in here? And you can usually tell that with a 10-minute, 20-minute conversation.
Yeah. Nice. That makes
So
sense.
I like I was, before you decided to go get a degree, um well, your big thing is you want to move into developer role at your current job, and your current job wants a computer science degree, right?
That's the main thing.
Because you like your place, like you like your
Yeah.
place you're working at.
I thrive with structured learning. I think
Sure.
that's just kind of how I learn. So I like to check off the boxes and progress that way.
Yeah, which that is an option without college. There's most of my self-education stuff was like YouTube playlists. So I would go through a whole playlist learning something. And another thing to remember is another thing I leveraged, I mean, is like MIT and Harvard, several other big schools have courses online for free.
Yeah.
So Harvard's CS50 class, all the lectures are at edX.org. And I watched those when I was first learning, just to, like, it went through the history of computing,
Hmm.
and all the way from like pretty much what they were doing in the 40s to the 70s, like how computers were working, and then how that translated into what we're doing now. Because like it's good to learn algorithms, but then whenever you understand why they existed or why they do exist, it's really cool. It's good to understand context as to why things are named the way they are in a lot of programming languages.
Right.
So, you know,
Oh,
that might be a good thing.
hold on, you're frozen.
Okay. Can you hear me?
No, you're still kind of frozen. Oh, I will say, just to kill time, I did watch a lot of I think it was MIT's like live lectures, their intro CS course. It's like in a big theater. Maybe
Yeah.
you want to, yeah, it's kind of cool. Um,
Yeah. Am I
okay, yeah, you're
unfrozen?
good. Yeah, you're good.
Oh, good. The internet just decided to take a nap.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So maybe I want to move into AI engineer because I heard they have like a net on average, their net worth is like $3 million.
An AI engineer?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, probably.
I think that's skewed from like all this money flowing into AI companies. It's
Yeah.
probably mostly at the top, but
Most of them are making a quarter million a year. And then there's the ones who actually hold stake in the startups they work in that got bought
yeah,
by big tech. So,
that's the dream, right?
yeah. So, there's a, speaking of AI and having a checkbox of things to do, there's a GitHub repo called Path to AI Developer
Oh yeah.
that I checked out, and it has links to all the Khan Academy courses you need to
Hmm.
take.
That's
So
pretty
that's pretty
sweet.
cool. Yeah.
So I mean, like, because that is essentially what I'm doing now. It's just
Yeah.
free or cheap. I don't know if Khan Academy is completely free.
Yeah, Khan Academy is a nonprofit. They
Okay.
survive off of donors.
Okay, so it's free, but you don't, the trade-off is I guess you don't get that uh, degree or
A
whatever.
certificate, right?
Certi-
What I would do though, like let's say, I don't really have the intent of doing this. Maybe in another life I would, like let's say I wanted to get into AI. I wanted to go be an AI engineer somewhere, and I'm starting from my current point of expertise.
Mhm.
I would I would follow this roadmap, and I'm sending you in Discord
I was gonna say,
in
post
our
that in the Discord
yeah,
so the listeners can check it out as well.
yeah. Yeah, if you're listening to this, go to our Discord and see all the links we share and stuff. So if I was to I wanted to be an AI engineer, I would just go through this, I would build some AI projects, and I would just put on my resume that I finished this course.
Hmm.
Like I went through all of these, or I took these courses and I built these things with them, and actually give like a URL for them to go mess with, and then give them code to go look at with documentation and all that stuff. Because like for me, like hiring, it was like if I if we got somebody in that knew how to document and write good code, like that's huge.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, they break it down like very minutely. They start at the beginning,
Yeah.
just learn like database basics, but then yeah, take that path all the way down. That's cool. I'll check that out.
But yeah, like I've toyed with the idea of doing something like that, but
Hmm.
honestly, I'm just like, this wouldn't make me really happy, or this wouldn't put me closer to my goals. I'm trying to get rich before the AI boom so it doesn't affect me.
I'm trying to position myself to ride the AI boom, to have a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It is like, you kind of say that jokingly, but like it is going to take away a lot of jobs. So I think there's
It
not to like, you don't have to be scared or anything, but prepare like for future jobs.
yeah, it on my in my point of view, it's gonna be a lot like it's just gonna be a better Google. Like
Yeah.
it could alleviate the need for Google.
Yeah.
If you're
It's almost,
teaching, because essentially all like say Chat GPT, all that is it's an AI model trained by people on how to answer questions using the internet as a database.
mhm.
That's all it is. Because it downloaded a good chunk of the internet before like 2021 or something like
Yeah.
that.
Doesn't it's like its data caps off at a certain year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you unleash that thing and give it live access to the internet, boom. But here's the problem. If we're all asking, something like a chat GPT for answers,
Hmm.
like someone has to actually be out there answering these questions, because AI can only use what information is out there.
True.
Like I can ask it to go, like I could tell ChatGPT, make me a what's the thing they give you at the beginning of a class?
Syllabus.
Yeah, give me a syllabus, or give me like a roadmap to learn how to be a car mechanic.
Yeah.
And it would give me all the stuff I need. But the only reason it knows that is because, that information's out there. There isn't the like if I had a completely well, there's no really completely unique ideas, but if I had an idea that I wanted to execute on in a different way that's been done before, like AI is not going to help with that.
Hmm.
It could help me accumulate information about all the different techniques I'm joining together.
Yeah. But I think a lot of jobs now aren't original ideas. It's more of
Yeah.
stuff that could easily be.
See, I don't know. There's still people that are like just data entry people, and that just
It's true.
baffles me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Well, I hear your points and I respect them. I just think for me, I'm gonna get this degree just because maybe it's safer, and I like to do the safer route. Maybe I find it harder to like sell myself, so I'd rather rely on the degree to sell me.
Yeah, maybe. I will say this. You currently have the skills to go get a job. Probably a year ago, I'm not kidding. A year ago, you could have gotten a job where I work
I
if you
don't.
had the current skills you have. If you had the current skills you had now, a year ago, you could have got a job where I'm at now because you already a lot of people a year ago
Mhm.
that we hired uh, weren't uh, weren't as good as you are now. I
I
wasn't as
don't.
I don't think I was as good as you, or I was maybe a couple steps ahead of you when I got my first job.
mm,
You just
I don't think you know how much I know. I appreciate it, but like if I sat down to make anything, like I could like an HTML CSS website,
Mhm.
like I can hack that together.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, okay, that's fair.
If you had though, here's the thing. The what you know now, you have proven you know how to Google.
True.
I have seen you come up with JavaScript solutions that um you may have been nudged one way or the other by maybe me or your brother-in-law,
Shout out
but
Gabe.
you found the answer and you implemented it and it kind of worked. Imagine though if when you submitted that code, somebody, immediately said, "Hey, there's a better way to do this," shows you how to do it, or sent you like you just Googled the wrong thing, like you were 90% there. So imagine that happens every day for your full-time job. And then also imagine you're in a code base that's been worked on for 10 to 12 years and you're seeing how other people are doing things. I learned more about coding my first 6 months at my current job
Yeah.
than I did the 2 years I took to learn. I learned more about coding my first year at my first job than I did, those couple years. So like all you have to do is prove that you can learn.
Hmm.
But there's nothing wrong with going back to school because I mean I don't know all the algorithms and stuff. I have no drive to because I have no reason to
Yeah.
right
No
now.
need for him.
I can go, build stuff right now. That's fine. Maybe I'll get left in the dust in 10 years.
Yeah. I'm sure you won't. Cool. Well, does that wrap up the college episode?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice. I will say I'm still working on a solution to the API problem that you were helping me with,
Mm.
but I haven't really looked into it.
Well, do you know how to make a call to an API from JavaScript?
I kind of know a little like the promise,
Yeah.
await,
Uh-huh.
response, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, those are all
But
words.
yeah, those are words. I don't like, really know how to put them together yet. But yeah, we should do a programming episode soon.
Yeah.
I'll just
We
interview
should,
programming stuff.
yeah, I would fail.
No, you would have a way to get it done.
Yeah, I'd have a way to get stuff done. Yeah. Oh, but
Cool.
yeah, good talk. I'm happy that you're going for this career. I'm excited about it. And I'm
Thank
gonna have
you.
to step up my game so I can keep up with you intellectually.
Well, you've had to do that for a while,
Yeah.
just not about this.
Cool. Well, if you liked this episode, listener, go give us a review on
Can I do it too?
iTunes or whatever. Yeah,
I
Jackson,
liked
please
this
do.
episode.
Go leave us a review. Go leave us a review on whatever platform you're using. Click the links in the description to go see our Discord. What else do we link to, Jackson?
Nothing.
Nothing, just our Discord. We don't link to our website even.
I should probably start adding that in. Yeah, there'll be a link to the website in the description.
Yeah, cool. Well, if you've listened this far, you're a champ and you're
You
my
probably
second best friend. So
probably forgot to hit stop when you took your earbuds out,
yeah, you
but we
probably fell
appreciate it.
asleep. It's time to wake up.
Should we just do
Anyways, you know
like
what?
insert like an alarm sound here to wake them up?
Meh, 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 meh. Yeah, they just woke up now.
Nice.
Okay, well, anyways, thank you so much for listening. And if you haven't woken up yet, maybe you'll wake up to the music here.
See ya.